Are you ready for the best in Sooner football recruiting news? Then it's time to get locked in with Parker Thune and Grayson Singleton.
You better lock it up. No, you lock it up. You lock it up. Lock it up.
Whether you're a recruiting doomer or sunshine pumper, text the guys on the First Liberty Bank text line at 405-651-3439. And call your shot on the Riverwind Casino jackpot line at 405-329-9000.
Do it! Just do it!
Now, with Locked In, here's Parker Thune and Grayson Singleton.
Let's get it rolling on Wednesday. Locked In is brought to you by Dorsey Jones GMC in El Reno. Family owned and operated. GMC offers some of the most reliable trucks and SUVs on the road today. And the folks out at Dorsey Jones, many of them have been with the company for 20 plus years, eager to assist you throughout the buying process as they get you behind the wheel of a brand new GMC. So head out to El Reno, check them out. Hit us up throughout the show on the First Liberty Bank text line, 405-651-3439. And let's buckle down to talk ball for the next hour here on the Ref, the home of Sooner fans. Mr. Singleton, how we doing?
What's going on? Dog, I cannot wait for a couple of hours from now.
What's a couple of hours from now?
Your boy has not gotten a haircut in 2.5 weeks.
And that's a long time for you.
This is a long time for me.
Yeah.
So I'm finally going to go to the barbershop here today. My hair is starting to feel just weird, man.
Man, I need to get a haircut too. Maybe I'll do that today. Maybe it'll be a haircut day for both of us.
Okay. All right. Now, see, the thing is, the people on the YouTube won't see the cuts because both of us are gone tomorrow, right?
I am here tomorrow.
Okay, so both of us will be gone Friday for sure. I will not be here tomorrow.
Gotcha. Who am I doing the show with then?
That's a good question.
Am I flying solo?
I doubt it.
Is Drake going to jump in?
I think it might be Josh.
Oh, Josh Elmer? Okay, I can dig it. It's always cool to do a show with Josh. Josh is an easy guy to hang with. Easy guy to
no
get along
doubt.
with. Mojo Bo says, you guys going to hold hands while you get your haircut together?
No.
Yeah, no, Grayson and I probably observe very different practices when it comes to getting our haircut. Grayson, I would imagine, goes to a much higher quality establishment than I do.
Yes.
You can probably go to like an actual barber
Yes,
shop,
I do.
right?
Yes, I go to an actual barber shop.
Figured as much.
Yeah, no, I can't with my hair. I can't be going to Great Clips and all that. Those people will screw my hair up.
Yeah, I do not go to an actual barber shop. I just go to Sport Clips.
You should go to an actual barber shop one time. I'd like to see what
I've
that
been
would
before.
happen.
I've been before, and I enjoy it. It's a good experience. But I have this stylist at Sport Clips that I've had since I was a broke college kid. And she knows exactly what to do with my hair and does a good job. So I've never felt the reason to switch up.
Okay. Slim Brady says, no way in hell I could go every week. I do not go every week. I cut my hair. I also know how to fade my own hair, too, so I do that in between barbershop visits.
Nice.
But I'll go get a cut from the barber maybe once every 3 weeks, something like that, and then, maintain it myself at home.
Several texters want to know if Scissorhands is your barber.
Scissorhands is not my barber, no.
Okay.
Somebody on the YouTube chat, Lance, says, yeah, your hair's getting wild, bro. Yeah, I'm aware. I would have I know. I would have worn a hat today, but I'm going to the barbershop right after this, so I wasn't going to have my barber try to pick through. You know what a pick is, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't going to have him pick through hat hair. So,
if you were to really just let your hair grow out, what would it wind up looking like?
Well, right now, if I didn't have it, curled like it is, it would probably be about another half inch to an inch longer than what you see right now.
Yeah, but I'm talking about like if you really let it go. If you just like went the whole year without cutting it.
It'd just be an afro.
Really?
It'd just be an afro, and then I'd probably get it braided.
Nice.
Yeah.
Afros are cool.
No, they're not.
They're not?
No, this is part of why people think Reuben Bain looks like a Reuben. Because like that's not a compliment. That's like when you talk about black people that just have an afro and like no curl or no twists or no something like that. Then that you get that thing is like, yeah, you look like a Reuben. that's kind of what you're that's what that is.
Slim Brady says, rock the Ben Wallace fro.
Nah,
oh, that's a legend. That's a Hall of Fame afro
that
right
is.
there.
I will say I had that afro, was that 4th and 5th grade, I want to say. And then I went to a flat top, and then I had the OBJ hair, and then I cut it, and then now pretty much since I went to college, I'm rocking what I have now.
Puerto Rican Sooner says, Grayson, I feel you, man. Can't put a pick through my hair without it sounding like firecrackers.
You got to wet your hair first, man. Otherwise, you're going to start breaking your stuff.
Sugar Shane in Newcastle with a very important update for us. Can y'all change my name from Sugar Shane in Newcastle to Sugar Shane in Norman?
Yeah.
I just moved.
I can get that done.
Hey, congratulations, Sugar Shane.
Yeah,
You're
man.
right here in our backyard.
Congrats on a new house. General Booty's lieutenant says, Grayson, get dreads. No, I'm trying to advance in corporate America. I am not getting dreads.
Have you ever had dreads?
No, I haven't.
Really?
I've never had my hair braided before.
Okay, gotcha.
No. I think if I had played college sports, I probably would have gotten dreads at some point. But now, no. I could probably rock some form of cornrows now, or some form of not box braids, but like some different type of braid, but not dreads that are falling down my face. No.
I got you. Let's get back to business. Why don't we? Let's talk ball. Let's talk recruiting before we get there. Somebody talk some sports text. I know we're going to get that at some point. Oklahoma's staff is still out on the road. The contact period, I believe, runs for another 10 days, all the way through the end of next week. So there's still plenty of time for the Oklahoma coaches to get out, see the sights on the road across America, touch base with some of their key uncommitted targets in the 27 class, continue to build out the board in 2028, 2029, and yes, even 2030. But several Sooner staffers have been out in the state of Utah this week. And, Grayson, it is really beginning to come into focus now. The reality that Oklahoma could go 3 for 3 with their 2027 targets in the Beehive State. Krew Jones is already committed. Mm-hmm. That has been the case for some time. That is not changing. He is 100% locked in. He's going to sign with Oklahoma in December, barring something catastrophic. But as Oklahoma continues to inch closer and closer towards sealing the deal with Bode, Sparrow, and Uhila Wolfgram. Sparrow, the 4-star safety from Kaysville, Davis. Kaysville is the town in Utah. Davis is the high school. And Wolfgram, the 3-star edge rusher from Maple Mountain High in Spanish Fork, Utah. Miguel Chavis and Stacy Ford both visited with Wolfgram yesterday. And 2 days ago, Monday, Brandon Hall was in Kaysville to touch base with Sparrow. What I thought was really cool was, Wolfgram himself posted videos to Twitter outlining all of this, but like Chavis and Ford went out to the Wolfgram family farm and were like doing farm work.
Wait, hold on. Wait, what now?
Yeah, if you go to the kids' Twitter page, you'll see there's a video of Miguel Chavis like tossing watermelon rinds to hogs in a pen. Stacy Ford's like helping to pull out a tree. These guys are doing the most to land this kid.
I love this. This is cool. Also, a very important note here is that you've never brought up is that Uhila Wolfgram is from a farm.
Yeah.
Yeah, you never brought that up on this show.
Didn't I? He's the youngest of 6 kids. He's a rugby player.
Yeah.
Obviously, they have island roots, but out there in the state of Utah. And this is the kid, man, that I think you can almost directly correlate the Uhila Wolfgram recruitment with the Case Alexander recruitment in the sense that he's a bonus guy for Oklahoma. The Sooners have 2 linebacker commits and 2 really good ones. They have 2 edge commits and 2 really good ones. If that winds up being the class, they're cool with that. They're fine with that. They don't feel the need. They don't feel the urge to go and add a third body in those position groups just for the sake of adding a third body. But Oklahoma will welcome Wolfgram with open arms, and they will welcome Case Alexander with open arms. By the way, let's officially tab Uhila Wolfgram, our recruit of the day, brought to you by Keystone Property Management. I don't think we have featured him as such yet.
And let's talk about Keystone Property Management as well. Visit them online at KeystonePMOK.com. They've got 3-bedroom, 2.5-bath townhomes in Edmond and Oklahoma City. So hit them up at 405-368-1836. Hit up our friend Drew England and the Keystone Property Management team. Again, 405-368-1836 or KeystonePMOK.com. And that video is cool, man. Like that's some quality recruiting right there. I can objectively say with the guys doing the farm work. That's dope.
Mustang Sauce says, above and beyond, way to go, coaches. Always something to do on the farm. Nick in Sepulpa says, man, we need that farm boy strength on our team. They are just built different.
There's part of that video where you see Uhila himself pushing a hay bale, and he's like, getting low and everything, like that low pad level leg drive while he's pushing that hay bale around. That's some stuff that can translate to the field. I can tell you that.
You get farmer strong when you work on a farm. It's a real thing.
Yeah.
Not always, and it's not always like, that doesn't always necessarily come alongside being super muscular or super well developed.
Sure.
Like there are a lot of farmers that are just lanky dudes, but they're really, really, really strong.
For no reason.
Yeah, because they're just used to doing manual labor tasks like, toting hay bales and stuff. And so, but Wolfgram, on the other hand, is really well put together.
Yeah.
And anybody that's seen a photo of that kid, even from just like the shoulders up, understands how much of a specimen he is. He has a very broad neck.
We did spend a whole segment talking about his neck one time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's already about 250 pounds. So and I'm not really sure how much bigger he's going to get, how much heavier he's going to get. There are certain players, like for instance, Samuel Nelson, Oklahoma's latest commit in the 2027 class. He's about 225 pounds. There's plenty of room on his frame for him to carry another 25.
Yes.
Wolfgram is probably close to tapped out, but that's okay, man.
I mean,
that's okay.
Especially if that's the final product. That's the same thing, by the way, that we talked about with Jonathan Hatton in the 2026 class.
Yep. If you can ball, and you got the strength, and you got the athleticism, and you got the technique, and you're already of an adequate weight to play SEC football, man, there's not a whole lot left to scrutinize in terms of how you develop a guy like that physically. Wolfgram's not going to need a whole lot of physical development, which it's going to be nice to throw him in the edge class if indeed Oklahoma can close things out alongside Krew Jones, another guy who kind of fits in that same category, somebody who is really, really well put together.
Mm-hmm.
And that would make 2 edge commits in the same class, ultimately 2 edge signees in the same class from the state of Utah, of all places. Oklahoma got a little double dip in Utah in the 2025 class with Darius Afalava and Jet New, but not a state historically where Oklahoma has done a whole lot of damage. They're doing it in the 27 class already, though. And what's interesting here with Wolfgram is that it's shaping up to be a battle primarily between maybe the 2 hottest programs in the nation on the recruiting trail in Oklahoma, which has been hot throughout the 2027 cycle, and the team that has just caught fire in the last 2-3 weeks in UCLA. He's going to OV UCLA. He's going to OV Oklahoma. I believe he has another OV set with BYU, and there's potential for a few others as well, but UCLA and Oklahoma kind of seems to be what it's about in this recruitment for Wolfgram.
What do you think is going to matter most to the kid, and what do you think could potentially win out?
It's hard to say, man. I don't know that, in my interactions with Wolfgram and just like taking stock of that recruitment, I don't know that there's one thing that matters to him significantly more than all of the other factors. I will say, whenever you're dealing with a kid that's from a big family, a tight-knit family, a farm family. Like, the culture, the brotherhood at Oklahoma is no doubt going to speak volumes to OU. The culture and brotherhood at OU is going to speak volumes to the kid. And I think the same can be said at UCLA, because that's very much the tone that Bob Chesney has set since he got there. So I think you're dealing with 2 programs that are similar culturally. There's a lot more proof of concept right now at Oklahoma than there is at UCLA. And
Absolutely.
So, on the other hand, though, UCLA is closer to home, and you get a little bit more of an up-and-coming type of vibe out there. You get to play college football in the Rose Bowl, get to play on the West Coast. I've always said that from a sheer football watching perspective, I can't imagine a better place to watch football than in the Pacific time zone because, for instance, on a college football Saturday, the action starts at 9 a.m. How cool must that be?
Shoot.
But, yeah, I mean, there are advantages to being at a place like UCLA. There are advantages to being at a place like Oklahoma, and you got a bunch of other contenders that are knocking on the door for Wolfgram. I think it says a lot, though, that even after landing Samuel Nelson, Oklahoma looped back around to Spanish Fork, Utah to tap in again with this kid and sent multiple coaches to do so. Stacy Ford, who's the West Coast ace, and Miguel Chavis, who not only is this kid's future position coach should he land at Oklahoma, but also the recruiting coordinator.
Yep.
So what this tells you is that there is not a sense of indifference on the Oklahoma side at this point with regard to the Wolfgram recruitment. They are going full throttle after this kid to try and add him to the fold.
Spinning this forward real quick, do you think this is going to become a trend that Oklahoma keeps creeping in on Utah and trying to get their best players out of that arena, given that they could potentially be OU good?
Yeah, so I think the angle that Oklahoma's taking with a lot of kids out there, not just in Utah, but in Cali and Arizona as well, is, hey, if you want to play SEC football, we're the westernmost SEC school. And by the way, we have 7 national championships and, all that. But, if you want to play SEC ball and not go too terribly far from home, it's us and Texas is technically slightly further west than Norman.
But not substantially.
Yeah, no, not substantially. I mean, you're both right along I-35.
Right.
So those two schools are the westernmost SEC programs, and both of them have had an increased presence out west the last couple of years. You look at what Texas has done and continues to do. Very recently, they added a commitment from Noah Roberts, outstanding running back out of Chandler, Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're looking west as well. Oklahoma's looking west, and the reason they're looking west is because everybody else in the SEC is hand-fighting over all of the elite kids that come through the state of Alabama and the state of Georgia, the state of Florida, and Oklahoma's not ignoring that by any means. We've seen that. They're still willing to fight those battles, but they've come to realize, hey, there's a lot less SEC competition if we look west instead of looking east and southeast because, for instance, a kid like Keani Snipes, 4-star edge rusher in the 2028 class, from Sarah Linda, Alabama, teammate of Jamison Roberts, who's really, really high on OU. Oklahoma's in that race, but you know how many other SEC schools have offered that kid?
Probably all of them.
Every single one. He has offers from every single SEC school.
Mm-hmm.
And so from that standpoint, yeah, Oklahoma's going to continue to put in the work in that recruitment, but they're also going to keep an eye on other up-and-comers in the class of 2028 out west, with whom they're more likely going to be battling the likes of Washington and Oregon and USC and UCLA, Arizona State, Utah, etc. And those are the battles that, in all honesty, can probably be more easily won by the Sooners.
Sure.
405-651-3439. That is the First Liberty Bank text line. If you want to get in your questions, comments, opinions, hit us up. And we're going to hit a quick break here, hear from our fine sponsors that make it all possible. We'll be back with much more here on Locked In. This is The Ref, the home of Sooner fans. Stay with us.
Locked In is brought to you every day by Dorsey Jones GMC in El Reno. Dorsey Jones GMC is family-owned and operated with a knowledgeable, low-pressure sales staff here to help you through the buying process and half-price oil changes on Saturdays. Visit dorsey-jonesgmc.com for more information.
Insurance shouldn't be confusing or expensive. That's why Oklahomans trust Right Way Insurance. As an independent agency, Right Way takes the time to assess your needs and shop multiple top-rated companies to find the best coverage for you. Auto, home, life, health, or business, Right Way puts you on the right way to protection and peace of mind. Contact Mike, Greg, and their team at 405-607-6014 or request a quote online at rightwayinsuranceok.com.
Warren Cat is a proud sponsor of the KREF app and Sooner Athletics. Our new store off I-35 in Norman is ready to support your equipment needs. From industry-leading Cat compact machines to reliable lift and electric power solutions, we have rental, purchase, and finance options to get you to work quickly. Plus, world-class parts and service to keep you up and running. Visit us in Norman. Click on the Warren Cat logo in the app or search Warren Cat. Whatever the job, whatever it takes.
Hi, this is Peggy Doviak of DM Wealth Management, and we've been working with the residents of Norman for over 20 years. as we help them solve questions about their cash flow, retirement savings, or tax planning. We also offer portfolio management solutions to help people meet their financial goals. We would love to help you plan your prosperity. Check us out at dmwealth.com.
Hi, everybody. Toby Rowland here for one of my favorite places to golf, the Trails Golf Club in Norman. The Trails offers great golf activities for the entire family. Men's and Ladies Golf Association events, summer junior golf for the kids, plus club fittings throughout the year. The Trails also has great family social events, monthly special dinners, plus holiday brunches and catering. When you're looking for the perfect place to golf, check out the Trails Golf Club in Norman. Contact Zane Alexander today at 405-364-3790 or visit trailsgolf.com.
The declaration of deals continues at Lander CDJR of Norman. Take $15,000 off of MSRP and get 2.9% financing for 72 months, along with America's best 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty. And as always, straightforward internet pricing with no special add-ons when you get here. Ram stock number TN191230 must finance with Stellantis for well-qualified buyers. It's the declaration of deals at Lander CDJR of Norman.
Here at the Ref, we know football, and we talk football every single day. But it wouldn't be possible without the great people at Wade Electric. Because while we know football, we trust Wade Electric for all of our electrical needs. Anytime we need electrical work done at our station, we call Wade Electric. They've been out to install new exterior lighting, convert interior lighting to LED, update devices, and install new power where needed. Call them today at 405-329-1940. Wade Electric, the electrical experts.
For 3 generations, the John M. Ireland and Son Funeral Home and Chapel in Morris continued to serve the community by giving back to local schools, charitable organizations, and first responders.
We provide pre-planning for funerals and cremation services at the most reasonable prices.
We are proud to be a family-owned and operated funeral home.
Award-winning funeral home year after year, our family believes in serving the people of our community.
I'm John Ireland.
And I'm Solon Daniels.
You've got our word on it.
Spring is here, a season of color, growth, and new beginnings. At Markham's Nursery, we have everything you need to make your spring truly special. From beautiful trees and hardy shrubs to vibrant perennials bursting with color. We have a huge selection of fruits and vegetables, roses and soils, everything you need to get your spring on the move. Helping generations grow in Oklahoma for over 50 years. Come grow something beautiful this spring. Markham's Nursery, just add the sun.
Markham's Nursery, just add the sun.
It's locked in here on the Ref, the home of Sooner fans. Parker Thune, Grayson Singleton. And all of you on the First Liberty Bank text line at 405-651-3439. A verified source hit us up and said, speaking of Texas, how about Sark's comments on education? Only to be followed up by a $47.5 million roster. Pete Golding and Ole Miss took a crazy stray from Sarkisian the other day. Man. Like, why? I mean, I get, like, you're trying to tout your program and its standards and all of that, but you had to know what you were getting into when you threw Ole Miss under the bus randomly like that.
Right. And, I mean, I looked this up in the break after I saw the text. In terms of acceptance rate among SEC schools, UT, Texas, is the 3rd hardest school to get into in the conference. And in terms of educational standards, it is the 2nd hardest in the conference behind Vanderbilt. So, I mean, Sark's at a place where he can tout that. Now, the real question is, are his players going to class?
Texas is the same school, mind you, that, maybe 4 years ago posted a graphic on twitter.com that got ratioed into oblivion because the graphic was highest GPA in team history and the number was 2.89.
I saw that.
So I'm sure they're going to class. Are they going to class enough? Who's to say?
I mean, they can't be getting C's in underwater basket weaving.
No, not at Texas.
Nah.
But, you know, like there are accommodations that exist for
I mean, just like
college athletes, regardless of where
just
you
like
go.
just like every Division I school. But man, what a rough week for Ole Miss, man.
I know. They've been going through it.
I will say, seeing the different SEC fan accounts battle it out to see who's the least racist school in the SEC has been a lot of fun on Twitter, man.
It's such a total nonsense debate.
Oh, it completely is, but it's so funny.
Nick and Sepulveda says, dude, Ricky Williams went there. LOL.
He did. That did happen, yes.
Have you seen the photos circulate from time to time? Have you seen the screenshots of James Cook's canvas board posts from when he was at Georgia?
No.
Oh, my goodness. I got to show those to you in the break, man.
Okay.
It's I'm trying to figure out a diplomatic way to say this. I'm surprised that guy made it past 4th or 5th grade with the level of his ability to formulate coherent sentences.
Yeah.
But hey, I'm sure as Cardale Jones infamously put it, a lot of guys ain't come there to play school. And everything's worked out okay for James Cook.
I was going to say,
he's making plenty of money in the National Football League.
I don't think James Cook is worried about that one bit. And by the way, I mean, he's an intelligently speaking person, so.
I mean, listen, I got 2 college degrees to my name, and James Cook makes more in a week than I probably make in a year. I don't know exactly what his salary totals out to, but something along those lines.
Got an extension.
Uh-huh. General Booty's lieutenant says, interesting fact from Barber talk earlier.
Okay.
Found out thanks to Instagram, a buddy from high school was Mason James Barber. Hey, we keep it all in the family here in Norman, America.
I wonder who that is. Because I know the barber I go to cuts some of Norman North's players. Cuts some OU players,
By
too.
the way, shout out to a friend of the program, Norman North quarterback Nash Henry, picked up his first offer this morning from Kansas State. So not only his first offer, but a P4 at that.
Congrats to him, man.
I'm excited for that kid, man.
I am too.
It is the first of many. Brian from Norman would like to know, hey, Parker, what does it cost, expense-wise, to offer a recruit? It sounds like at some point offers get wasted on a lot of 4 and 5 stars that everybody wants. Is there a limit to how many offers can go out every year? Brian, there is no cost to offer a recruit. All it takes to offer a recruit is somebody in those offices picks up the phone and calls either the kid or his coach, depending on the season, depending on the period and whether or not you can directly contact the kid. And you just say, hey, you got an offer from the University of Oklahoma. If I was on staff at the University of Oklahoma, I could pick up the phone right now, call any kid at any high school in the country, and all I got to do is say, hey, you have an offer from us. And, I mean, that's that. Like, it's literally that simple. And so that is what the staff does, is they will offer generally 150 to 200 kids a year. Now, some of those recruitments, as far as Oklahoma is concerned, will not go much further beyond the initial offer. With any prospect that you're interested in pursuing, you're going to do your homework. You're going to learn more about the kid's background, his GPA, who he is as a person off the field. And you might offer a kid, and a week later or even a day later, stumble upon some information that changes your mind as to whether or not you want to continue pursuing the kid. And you back off. And so, in terms of the level of actual investment into these kids' recruitments, like tangible spending of resources on a given recruit, really what it comes down to is anytime you visit a kid in person on the road, that's an expense. That's travel, obviously. And then if they wind up coming to campus for an official visit, then that's on your dime. That's on university dime, and so you're spending money to host official visitors. But other than that, man, pretty much the only real cost associated with recruiting a kid is just whatever accommodations may exist for them when they're coming to campus for unofficial visits. And even those have strict limitations per NCAA regulations. So, Brian, the overwhelming majority of the expense that is incurred by a recruiting department in a P4 school on an annual basis, the overwhelming majority of that expense is wrapped up in travel for coaches when they're out on the road recruiting and the official visit experience for the group of kids that take official visits to Oklahoma. And in Oklahoma's case, man, I'm not saying they're gonna take the cheap route this year with official visits, but they don't have to host nearly as many official visitors this time around than they have in cycles past because they already have 21 dudes committed.
Which is actually kind of a forgotten detail that we haven't even brought up this year with the fact that they've got all these guys committed. Now, the one thing I'm going to ask you this is, though, they are still going to host all those cats for official visits. The 21 guys that they've got committed are all still going to come on their official visits, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Every single one will take an official visit.
But they just won't be having as many other official visitors as you otherwise would.
Yes, there used to be a limit. I don't believe there is anymore. I don't believe there is a limit anymore on the amount of kids that you can host for official visits, but there used to be, and I think it was 55, I want to say you could host 55 official visitors in a given calendar year. And so you had to be real calculated and real scrupulous with how you allocated those 55 official visits. And if you only had 10 commits, which I would say is probably a good median number in the days of old going into official visit season, if you had 10 kids committed prior to OVs, then okay, you know that you're spending 10 OVs on your 10 commits, but then you got to bring in probably 25, 30 other kids at least over the summer to try and fill the other 15 spots in your class. And there will be plenty of guys, and there will be plenty of guys. This will never change. There'll be plenty of guys that take official visits to Oklahoma and wind up choosing another school. There will be plenty of guys that wind up taking official visits to other schools that wind up choosing Oklahoma. That's kind of the roulette wheel of official visit season in the traditional sense. There are very few uncommitted targets left on Oklahoma's board that are going to take OVs with the Sooners this summer. Let's see what we can come up with off the dome here. Bode Sparrow, obviously. Trenton Blaylock, Gabriel Osborne, Gideon Gash. For now, Case Alexander, even though, as we've discussed, there's a good chance he commits somewhere before official visit season. Uhila Wolfgram, Yazin Zion, 4-star defensive tackle out of the state of Arizona, high school teammate of OU cornerback commit Michael Davis. And then we'll see about Brian Swanson. They're expecting him at the end of the month, the talented offensive tackle from South Oak Cliff High School in Dallas. And I guess TJ Lewis would be the only other one. Well, and Ben Kolar.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So what did I just rattle off? 11 names? 12 names? So Oklahoma's probably not going to have more than a dozen or so uncommitted official visitors that they take their shot with during OV season. And the rest of the OVs are reserved for guys who have already locked in their spot at Oklahoma. And so there's a lot less that hangs in the balance, man. I don't know how much this is going to be the norm moving forward at Oklahoma. Obviously, this staff, this front office, they want to get as many guys locked in early as possible. But I will say, Grayson, if at a certain point you see the pendulum swing in the other direction and Oklahoma only has like 7 or 8 guys committed going into any given June and the official visit slate that sits on deck for the program, I won't mind that at all, man, because it's so fun to track all of the developments during a real chaotic official visit season where there's a majority of a number of different ways that things can go based on how you kind of land the plane with a given kid on his official visit.
Yeah, I see that. We don't cover a whole lot of basketball recruiting here, but I wanted to get the super chat in here.
Okay.
Steve-O says, Boomer, Parker, will the new Rock Creek Entertainment Center really help Porter on the recruiting trail, or do we just need to move on? Be honest.
Move on from Porter, I assume is the question there?
Yes, that's what
Yeah, here's what you must consider with regard to the Rock Creek Entertainment District. It's not going to be done until, conservatively, 2029.
Okay, so they said it would. They said they think it could be done in somewhere in the middle of the 2028-29 season.
Which I consider that optimistic.
And I think, and I'm with you.
I think realistically, you have to hope for 2029 with the understanding that it might be 2030.
Correct.
If not even later than that.
My thought's the same.
There are kids that will sign with, like Quincy Wadley and Gage Mayfield, Oklahoma's 2 signees in the 2026 class. There's a chance those guys never play in the new arena, even if they do spend their entire 4-year careers at Oklahoma, which is something that hasn't been done by an Oklahoma basketball signee since Christian Doolittle almost a decade ago. So, is it going to be much of a recruiting asset in the immediate sense? I really don't think so.
No.
Much as I would like to believe it will have an impact, I think that's something that you're not really going to feel the true ramifications of its addition on the recruiting trail until it's something that you can visibly see with your own 2 eyes,
right?
As opposed to just a rendering on a screen.
And if you're talking about, okay, will that help you get the best players? Remember this, the best players in college are not on a 4-year timetable, especially in basketball. That's looked down upon in the NBA draft. The better players are on a 1, maybe a 2-year timetable, and then they're off to the league. So in basketball, you can't recruit that far out into the future. So I don't even know if it will be Porter who will be utilizing the new Rock Creek Entertainment District and the new arena as leverage for recruiting.
And as Puerto Rican Sooner points out, aptly, I might add, if Porter doesn't get a grip, he won't see 2027.
And this is also true.
Yeah. And so, trust me, I don't think Porter Moser is going to be using the Rock Creek Entertainment District as a major recruiting tool. I think it's going to be more about, hey, here's how we're set up to win in the here and now. Here's an immediate look at how competitive we can be next year and maybe in 2027, 28. It's more about, and I think that's just true of the NIL era in basketball most specifically, is it's more about the here and now than it ever has been before. 405-651-3439. That is the First Liberty Bank text line. More of your texts on the other side as we wrap up our Wednesday show. This is The Ref. The home of Sooner fans. Keep it right here.
Do you eat, sleep, and breathe Sooner football? We do too. This is The Ref, home of Sooner fans.
Since 1974, Balfour of Norman has been a part of your Sooner milestones. Sooner Pride is a family affair, and we've got something for everyone. Quality apparel for men and women, gear for the kids, even toys and accessories for your dog Boomer. For our new grads, celebrate a Sooner legacy with alumni apparel, thoughtful gifts, or a gift card for the road ahead. Visit us in person on Campus Corner or shop our full collection online at crimsonproud.com. Balfour of Norman, where you'll find everything Sooner.
Looking for a fun and adventurous way to spend the summer? Join the Sooner Theater for an unforgettable summer camp experience. The Sooner Theater has 2-week half-day sessions for students entering kindergarten through 7th grade. Whether your child loves acting, dancing, singing, stage makeup, or more, these camps have something for everyone. With sessions in June and July, your child can explore creativity, make new friends, and have a blast performing on stage for friends and family. Don't miss out. Sign up now for a summer full of fun and adventure through the performing arts. Visit SoonerTheater.org to learn more and register today.
This is James Spann, founder of Bode Street Capital. We launched Bode Street Capital to expand how we support founder-led companies, providing growth equity and strategic capital at the moments that matter most. We're focused on disciplined investing, real alignment, and building long-term value. If you're a founder or an investor looking for the right partner, we'd love to connect. Connect with us at Bode Street Capital, under the radar, above the crowd. That's Bode Street Capital, under the radar, above the crowd.
With better weather comes bigger jackpots.
And Riverwind is your one-stop winning spot.
Cash in like never before when you play in our high-stakes area.
Then head to the Showplace Theater for a one-of-a-kind VIP experience.
Play with your wild card all the way through May.
And be here every Friday for your chance at our $100,000 Flame and Fortune giveaway.
You deserve the best.
So make it Riverwind Casino.
Courtyard Marriott Norman offers affordable and stylish accommodations, featuring an on-site bar and bistro and classic Southern hospitality. They're conveniently located off of I-35 and West Robinson Street, close to shopping and dining options, and provide quick commutes to local attractions such as the Lloyd Noble Center, Love's Field, and L. Dale Mitchell Ballpark. Courtyard Norman, 405-701-8900. That's 405-701-8900.
About a year ago, the Vance family came up with a great idea. Why don't we offer vehicle service at a person's home? Service with fair pricing performed by certified technicians. Services like oil changes, brake work, recalls, tires, and repairs made available for everyone living and working within the OKC Metro. Imagine having your vehicle's oil changed at your home or business. No more driving back to the dealership or waiting all day while your car, truck, or SUV is serviced. Now, Vance Mobile Service provides services for all vehicles, makes, and models. Just call for an appointment. Have your vehicle serviced the smarter, more convenient way. Call 405-477-4913. That's 477-4913. Vance Mobile Metro Service.
It's that time of year to get to the ballpark, and that's something to smile about. Craig and Straight Orthodontics wants to help you and your family every step of the way to a beautiful smile. Craig and Straight has 3 conveniently located offices in Norman, Mustang, and South Oklahoma City. Check out their website at craigandstraight.com or give them a call to schedule your free consultation. You'll soon be on your way to a smile that you have always wanted. At Craig and Straight Orthodontics, we want to see you smile, Oklahoma.
Oh, a cup of dirt dredging up bad memories on the First Liberty Bank text line, 405-651-3439. Cup of Dirt said, the Alabama playoff game rerun was on yesterday. So disappointing to blow a 17-0 lead.
Yeah.
Interceptions, bad punts, personal fouls, fixable issues.
You know what's funny is a couple of days after that game, so I was at the game, and then I did go back and watch it, because I wanted to see what it sounded like on TV.
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever do that? Sometimes, like, just go back, like, if you have an extended amount of free time, will you ever get curious as to how did this sound on television?
Generally, when I rewatch with the all 22. I generally don't rewatch the broadcast.
That's fair.
There are a few exceptions. I think I rewatched the Tennessee game in 2024 on broadcast, for instance.
Okay.
Because I just thought, gosh, that was like a car crash you couldn't look away from.
I still remember when Xavier Brown picked off that pass, and like you could hear a pin drop, and it sounded exactly like it on TV. It just sounded morbid on TV. And I'm like, yep, that's what it felt like in the stadium.
I mean, that building fell dead silent.
Good gosh, I've never seen a switch like that before in person.
Back to recruiting, S. Rob Booman on the text line says, what about Bryce Williams, who is committed to Nebraska, having an official visit to OU? Well, a good point, S. Rob Booman. He was a name I neglected to mention among the expected official visitors last segment, but he is not committed to Nebraska right now. He's not committed anywhere. Nebraska is considered the leader in his recruitment, and they have been for a while, but he is not committed. And again, I'm going to be curious to see how Oklahoma manages that situation. Because, for instance, I am from the good state of Nebraska. Still have some good connections up there. And the word from the Husker side of things is that they are really not concerned about Oklahoma in the Bryce Williams recruitment. They feel as though they're the ones controlling that process. And it's going to be quick work once OV season rolls around for them to get Bryce Williams to campus and shut the door. And so I'm not saying the OV to Oklahoma never happens. I'm not saying he doesn't wind up committing to Oklahoma. That's very much on the table. The fact that he is booked in OV speaks volumes. But that's not somebody that at this point in time I'm really expecting to wind up in Oklahoma's class. maybe that expectation changes, because a lot will change during official visit season. It's a very fluid time. But for now, man, I think Oklahoma does wind up with Trenton Blaylock, and we'll see what happens with Gabe Osborne. If I'm counting on a fourth cornerback winding up in OU's class besides McCrary, Mikael Davis, and Trenton Blaylock, I'm still going with Gabe Osborne. I still think Oklahoma has the edge for Gabe Osborne until further notice. Now, obviously, that doesn't feel quite as solid. There's not that same level of confidence that was there back in January, February about the Gabe Osborne recruitment, but Oklahoma's still in good shape there. They're still in good shape, and as I understand, they've already visited with him once during the contact period, and they will be out a second time to make sure Osborne knows he's a priority at Oklahoma. Puerto Rican Sooner says, yeah, the worst part of that was the Alabama people beside us. The wife was beyond plastered and almost got her husband beat up because of her loud mouth.
You know what's funny? Situations like that. I remember I told my girlfriend one time, it's like, yes, I'm here to protect you, and I will never have a problem with that, obviously, because that's my job. What I will have a problem with is bailing us out of unsafe situations if you do something stupid. That I have told her before, which she has never done, by the way. Which she has never done, never come close to. She doesn't have that personality. But there is a difference.
By the way.
And I bet that husband was like, oh, my gosh.
Can you go ahead and cue up some circus music for us? Because
I can.
It's been a couple weeks since we did this. But I think it is time for the return of 0 days since our last nonsense. Because there were a couple of things that found their way into the news cycle this morning that would be categorized as nonsense. The first of which got brought up by one of our fine texters, Michael from Missouri, on the text line. Did you see this?
No.
2029 quarterback Bryson Kennedy.
Oh, yes, I did see this.
Got ruled ineligible to play at Duncanville High after attempting to transfer down from Little Rock Central in Little Rock, Arkansas. And the reason he got declared ineligible was because the very basic rule, and there's nothing really basic about UIL in Texas, but one of the fundamental rules is that if you're going to transfer, it has to at least have the appearance of academic motivation as opposed to athletic motivation.
Yep.
And evidently Bryson Kennedy went on a podcast to discuss the decision to transfer down to Duncanville and purportedly said that he just thought it was going to be a better opportunity for him as a player. And so in the rejection notice, the UIL basically pointed to that and said, hey, the kid kind of acknowledged that he did this for athletic reasons, so we can't approve this.
No, yeah, and look, to Bryson Kennedy himself, hey, man, way to tell the truth. And that's okay. I'm okay with you transferring to get a better opportunity to, set yourself up to make some money. Like, I'm cool with that. But
you got to have the PR aspect.
It's the difference between knowledge and wisdom, right? Knowledge is knowing the information. Wisdom is knowing when to apply that information. And where were his parents in this? And also, this just goes to the fact that podcast equipment should be a lot more expensive.
Podcast equipment should be a lot more expensive. Man, and this ties right into the other piece of nonsense. I want to recognize our friends down at the Next Round, which I believe is based in Alabama. I know Emily Grace McWhorter, whom Dari has on from time to time.
Yeah.
I believe she works there. But they put out a tweet earlier today, and I'll read it verbatim. Okay. As a small sports media company, we rely on content monetization for a good chunk of our income. Whoever runs the @SEC Country page has been frequently stealing our content for nearly 2 months now and recycling it as their own. The pages have a collective following of over 2 million followers, far more than we do, and are using our content to generate more views on their own page, which is hurting our opportunity to monetize. We're not sure who runs these pages anymore, as SEC Country used to be owned by Cox Media, but know that they do not operate these pages anymore as they shut down the site in 2018. We work really hard to produce high-quality, unique content and really wish the person/persons stealing it would stop. And attached a bunch of screen grabs that have timestamps on everything.
Oh,
I
man.
mean, this other outlet ripping their stuff like 15 minutes after the fact in some cases. And so, look, from one small business to another, to the folks of the next round, we support you, and I share your disdain for content thieves. Because that is part of what makes this profession absolutely insufferable, man. Is people who cannot come up with or do not come up with any original content of their own. They just piggyback on the work that other people do.
Right. You ever see those people do this to On3 all the time, where On3 will tease like a story in a tweet, and somebody will be like, F the paywall, here's what it says, and just writes their own synopsis of it.
Yeah, which promptly gets those people a cease and desist letter. But it is.
Wait, actually?
Oh yeah, I mean it's super annoying because it's a violation of the terms of service, obviously.
Sure.
But
yes.
You're taking money out of somebody else's pocket,
right?
Man.
Which
and
it's intellectually dishonest.
It is intellectually dishonest, and work isn't free.
No,
it's never been free. Well, Outlaw Devil says the Bryson Kennedy situation is all the more reason for the Parker Thune School of Social Media Awareness and Recruiting.
Yeah, and also, how can you expect the kid to know any better?
That's true. He's what, 15?
Yeah,
16?
like again, where are the parents? Also, why are you putting your 15-year-old on a podcast?
You said it. I've said it before. We need to get this moving. Maybe I'll holler at the 2 or 3 political connections I have and see if we can get a bill drafted to increase the tariffs drastically on all audiovisual equipment.
Well, is that stuff made in the U.S., though?
Most of it, I would say, is not.
Oh, okay. Oh, maybe not. Okay. I don't know. Or you could, slap an excise tax on it like they do with tobacco.
That'll work. Mojo Bo says the pathetic posers, as said by the great Mike Steele. Yes, there are far too many pathetic posers. And look, I'm not trying to gatekeep this profession, folks. If you want to get in front of a camera, you want to get in front of a microphone and talk about sports, talk about whatever your passion is, more power to you, but do your own work. Do your own work and don't piggyback off the hard work of others.
Let me ask you this, too, on the situation with the kid. You think he ends up potentially coming to play football in Oklahoma?
Oh, did you see the OSSAA compliance tweet?
I mean, I did see that.
Have you seen that Twitter account's work, though?
Dude, the OSSAA compliance Twitter is one of my favorite accounts.
It is my favorite account, period, right now. That account is hilarious.
Oh, I love that account.
But I don't. I think the plan is for that kid to go back to Arkansas and play at Little Rock Central. So, and then who knows? Maybe they try it again with Duncanville next year or another one of those open enrollment schools down in the great state of Texas.
Michael and Marlowe says, we need no more tax or tariffs, you liberals, LOL.
Only on podcast equipment, Michael and Marlowe. Only on podcast equipment. I do not support tariffs unless we're talking about audiovisual equipment. In which case, yes, increase them 300%. Chris from Knoxville said, kid learned a valuable lesson. Be careful what you say on public platforms.
Yep.
It's a lesson we all have to learn at some point in life.
Ain't that the truth?
580 Mike Concho says, Grayson speaking for all of us. I felt that to my core.
Oh, man.
Outlaw Devil points out, dude did probably charge the podcast for his appearance. Maybe so. Maybe he got
something out of it.
But yep, it will not be Duncanville this fall for Bryson Kennedy. If you've ever actually watched the kid play, by the way, he's got a really special arm. He's got insane arm talent, but he's also he's built like a defensive lineman.
I was about to say he's massive.
He's a big dude, man. I'm trying to think physically who he might be a comp for, or who might be the comp for him. I don't want to say Jamarcus Russell because that just carries too many connotations that the kid does not deserve.
No.
But he's a big old boy, man. And he's not that tall either. He's maybe 6'1", but at least last I saw him, he was 260 pounds. Big old boy. He's got a bunch of offers though, bunch of high end offers. SMU is one of them. I think they were his first offer.
They were.
Colin Claremore says, Grayson, I'm surprised you still have a girlfriend after a spring break trip to Mexico, or is this a new girlfriend?
Well, first of all, I don't get into relationships that quickly, number one. Number two, yes, it is the same girlfriend, and I mean, she didn't do anything worth ending the relationship for.
There you go. It's good news. Is that the last spring break for her? She's graduating, right?
Yeah, and guess where she's taking a summer trip to?
Mexico?
Ibiza.
Oh, hello.
Yeah.
I've met Emily. The text line.
No,
has
she's a sweet,
I've met Emily.
Sweet person.
She really is.
She
really
is. She is an
I know
awesome
you don't
person.
have much to worry about.
No, I know. We just do this for fun.
Well, if you got relationship advice for Grayson, bring it back to tomorrow's show. But for today,
well, no, not tomorrow because I'm not here tomorrow.
Bring it back for next Monday's show. I'll be back here tomorrow. Locked In. We'll return tomorrow, same time, same place, right here on the Ref, the home of Sooner fans. The Rush is next.